on my healing journey, which is what I'm on right now, I have been challenged to start like writing and processing um, my past, right? So I haven't yet actually sat down to write it. For some reason, it's easier for me just to shoot a video. Um, writing writing for me is so personal, and um, I know that I will be doing it probably right after I shoot this. But I don't know. I haven't yet done it. The idea of sitting down and really like diving into all of the relationships and um, um, all of the abuse, I don't know. It's scary. I think I'm afraid. I was trying to think, like, why is it freaking me out to do that? And I think it's because I'm afraid to see what's there. I'm afraid to find things to really like open that box and start looking in it, because it's been with me in the back seat, but I haven't opened it in a very long time, and I haven't like really looked into it. And every time something happens that goes with that kind of abuse, it goes back into that box. So I I I think like it kind of freaks me out to open it up and to see what can I really recall that on the like kind of daily I don't think about. So along with the idea of writing, it's like Pinterest knew that I was going to start writing this, because the other day when I was scrolling Pinterest right after I had this conversation about um, beginning to write my story, I one of the pins that popped up was a writing prompt, which I have never seen before. I've never seen writing prompts pop up on my Pinterest. Now that I'm talking about it, I know I'm going to have 100. Um, but it said writing prompt, daily writing prompt, and then the prompt was write about the moment you knew you were going to leave. And oh man, well, there's a few of those that I could pick. It depends on the relationship we're talking about. I I mean, I could talk about the um, moment I knew I was going to leave my teenage relationship. So I told you already that in the last episode that I had like it was an abusive relationship. Abuse is progressive. Abuse doesn't just start off like, you know 0 to 60 in 2 seconds. It doesn't work that way. There's like a systematic breakdown of the victim. And so that like classic, that's what happened for me. I started it was a lot of mental and emotional abuse, being separated from friends, this kind of thing. It takes a while. It's like erosion of a beach, right? It does not happen overnight, but if you look from start to finish, it's a big transformation. So um so my relationship I started dating this person, and then when I was like 14, and then 16 is when we broke up. And the moment I knew that I could not be with this person anymore, I'd been fighting with my parents for months. My parents, um, I don't know, maybe they suspected, maybe they kind of figured things out, maybe they just knew from what it was like watching me. I'm sure that I changed, because even my best friend told me later that he was kind of following me around town. Sometimes he would, if he knew I was going to be somewhere and knew I was going to see this um, boyfriend, that he would come and like park in the parking lot to make sure that I was safe. And I had never mentioned anything to either of those people, my parents or my friend. So I must have been giving off signs and showing signs of this being not good and not safe. So, but I'm sure my mom will watch this and she will tell me. She will have a conversation with me after this about what it was that she noticed that made she and my dad kind of start fighting with me about like, you need to break up with this guy. And I was like, 16, and you're not going to tell me what to do. I'm going to stay in this that I know is bad just because, I'm a rebellious teenager, that kind of thing. But then it got to late August. This was the Sunday before my junior year in high school started. And I remember, I don't know, we were fighting about something on the phone, and I was like, I'm going to go to the movies with my grandmother. My little cousin was in town, and my grandmother was taking him to the movies. She wanted to know if my sister and I wanted to go. No idea what we saw, can't remember. But it was a Sunday matinee, okay, with my grandma and my sister and I guess my cousin must have been like 3 at the time. So, and same garbage, like, oh, you're cheating on me, blah. No. So go to the movie theater. I have a good time with my family. And then when I'm walking out of the movie theater, it's still daytime, and he is standing next to the box office. And I remember thinking, like, and I think even my grandmother maybe was like, oh, how sweet, he showed up. And I'm like, no, this is not sweet. This is not like, and you could like see it on him that this was not oh, I just missed you kind of a meeting. So immediately my body goes into like a kind of elevated state, right? When you start to feel unsafe, your blood pressure goes up. Like I was probably having hives. It just, all you can hear is your heart. It's like your ears flood, and it's just your heart. So my grandmother leaves. My sister and I had to go to Publix to get a couple things for my mom. The movie theater that we went to is in the same shopping plaza as Publix. So it's like on the end. Publix is kind of in the middle. So I'm like, I can't talk to you right now. I have to go get some things for my mom. So we go, my sister and I kind of speed walk over to my car, get in the car, drive over to Publix in the parking lot. Same parking lot, 2-second drive. And then we get out. He has followed us through the parking lot and is now over at Publix. And my heightened state of panic is going up and up. And I don't know what my sister was feeling. I don't think she and I have ever spoken about this. And then, so split the list. Let's say there's 10 things on the list. You get these 5. I'm going to get these 5. Go as fast as you can and meet me in the checkout. So I am like speed walking through Publix trying to get these things that my mom wants, and I can't come home without these things. And he is speed walking behind me, mouthing off. And I am getting more and more upset, more and more panicked. I've got to get out of here. I have my little sister with me. This is not normal. This is not okay. Whatever is happening right here is not okay. So get through the checkout. We now are like kind of walking to my car, and open the car with the key fob, yell to my sister to get in the car, and I get in, and when I am like sitting down just about to grab the steering wheel, he pulls me from my car and pulls me out of the car. I think I had bruises on my arm from this, and kind of drags me backwards. Like he's got my arms right here, and he's dragging me through the parking lot. And remember, it's the middle of the day on a Sunday. It's the middle of the afternoon on a Sunday afternoon at Publix. There are people in the parking lot. So I can distinctly remember 2 bag boys with their carts. Like, it's like everybody froze. I am yelling for help, asking for help. And this guy is dragging me through the parking lot. Like I parked on this aisle. He's like 2 aisles over. And I remember distinctly 3 grown men with children there, and no one did a thing to help me. And I remember thinking, I stopped screaming because I thought, this is how people get kidnapped. No doubt about it. People see me, there's at least 5-6 people here that are watching this happen, and no one is trying to stop it. And so we go to the car. I was very angry. And my sister tried to get out, and I screamed to her to get back in the car and lock the car doors till it was me. And then we get to his car, and I don't know, defuse the situation somehow because whatever. And then I'm like, I'm done. This is it for me. Done. Get in my car, drive home. And then I can't hide anything that's happened to my parents. Like, my sister witnessed stuff. So I don't remember. I think my mom had already known that he was there because she had talked to my grandmother, and my grandmother let that slide. But I don't remember exactly the conversation, but my parents were like, there's no bloody way you are ever seeing this kid again. So I do not care what you think or how in love you are. Like, you're done. This is it, done. And I was like, no kidding. And then, so broke up with him on the phone. I don't think I broke up with him in person because I was too afraid. I think I waited until I got home, and my parents were like, there's no way we're letting you out of this house. I don't care what we have to do. You're never seeing this kid again. And, so that was it. That's kind of like indisputable evidence that this was not okay. So that was the moment I knew I needed to leave. And it's still crazy. It just, I don't know. I think probably ever since then, I've always had this like heightened sense of maybe like fear, and safety has always been a big thing for me. I have to feel safe in a situation, otherwise I'm out. Peace. So then school started, because that was the Sunday prior to school starting. I stayed true to my word. I did not go back. Once I'm done, I'm done. And but then, so that must have been like around maybe like August 20. School started a little later back in the 90s than it does today. But so it must have been like around maybe August 20th. So then about 3 weeks later, he showed up at my school, and that's the day that we had the car incident. And that it really like that was crazy. So, but I'll talk about that next time.